Building on their undeniable talent and magnetic presence, Ann-Margret and Elvis Presley's connection extended beyond their performances, creating a bond that was both intense and explosive. Their chemistry was undeniable, and each movement they made together seemed charged with energy. When Elvis' shoulder dropped into a groove, Ann-Margret matched his rhythm effortlessly, responding instinctively. During their dance routines, it was as if they communicated without words, moving in perfect harmony. Their bodies seemed to respond to an unspoken understanding, producing a captivating rhythm that drew audiences into their world. Their movements weren't just steps. They told a story of mutual admiration and shared passion. As Elvis spun, Ann-Margret was already ready, expertly aligning herself with his momentum. This seamless synchronization created a mesmerizing spectacle, highlighting raw emotion and genuine connection. Their performances weren't merely rehearsed acts. They were a display of true artistic intimacy that left viewers spellbound. This explosive bond made their performances unforgettable, leaving an indelible mark on music and dance history. On an empty MGM stage, a moment that would be remembered by many unfolded when Elvis Presley and Ann-Margret walked toward each other. As they approached, photographers quickly began to take pictures, capturing what the studio managers believed would be a historic event. The cameras flashed, and a sense of excitement filled the air. Yet Elvis and Ann-Margret seemed unaware of the significance they represented in that moment. They appeared relaxed and casual, focused on each other rather than the attention they were receiving. George Sidney, the director of the upcoming MGM film Viva Las Vegas, was present during this encounter and took the opportunity to introduce Elvis to Ann-Margret. His words highlighted the importance of the meeting, but to Elvis and Ann-Margret, it was simply a meeting of two talented young stars. The chemistry and connection they shared in that brief moment hinted at the potential for a love affair that many would later talk about. Despite the cameras and the spectacle surrounding them, they seemed genuinely engaged with each other, sharing a natural rapport that made the scene special, though unplanned by none. Their appearance together became a memorable snapshot of Hollywood's golden era, illustrating the magic of past icons at the start of what could have been a romantic journey. This meeting in the spotlight, although seemingly simple, left a lasting impression because it reflected the allure of fame and the genuine human connection that can sometimes blossom in the midst of glitter and glamour. When Ann-Margret and Elvis Presley first met, it was a moment filled with nervous excitement. They reached out to shake hands gently, both feeling the weight of their new connection. As their hands met, they managed to speak at the same time, with each of them saying, "I've heard a lot about you." This unexpected coincidence left them staring at each other in surprise, each unsure of what to say next. For a moment, silence took over as they looked into each other's eyes, feeling a mix of humor and awkwardness. Then, almost without thinking, they both started to chuckle. Their initial nervousness slowly changed into laughter, which grew louder and more confident. Their chuckles echoed around the room, bouncing off the walls like pinballs in a machine, filling the space with warmth and joy. This shared moment marked the start of a friendly and memorable relationship. As they continued to talk, their laughter helped break down any remaining barriers between them, leading to a friendship that would last. Their first meeting became a story many would remember, a funny, spontaneous exchange that set the tone for their time together. They understood then that sometimes a simple handshake and a shared laugh can create a bond that lasts a lifetime. Because they first met during the filming of Viva Las Vegas, Ann-Margret and Elvis Presley developed a professional relationship that became quite successful. Over time, their working connection grew stronger and turned into a romantic relationship that shocked many fans and industry insiders. The chemistry between them was obvious on set, and their time together during production created a bond that went beyond just acting. As they spent more time working closely, their feelings deepened, making Viva Las Vegas not just a movie, but also a stage for one of the most intense love affairs seen in Hollywood at that time. Despite their shared personalities and mutual understanding, they could not be together legally or personally because Elvis was already engaged to someone else. This prevented their relationship from turning into marriage, even though they shared a very strong bond. Their on-set love affair became famous partly because of the passion and connection they showed during filming, and it remains one of the memorable stories in Hollywood history. Elvis's intense emotions and Ann-Margret's involvement made their relationship even more intriguing to fans, who sensed the genuine affection and chemistry between the two. Though their love affair was passionate, it was also complicated by their personal commitments and the constraints of the time. Nonetheless, their connection during that time left a lasting impression and became a significant chapter in Elvis Presley's life story. After their breakup, Elvis Presley and Ann-Margret chose to stay friends rather than let their separation end their connection. Despite the romantic relationship coming to an end, they believed in the importance of their friendship. Over the years, they continued to support each other and spend time together. Their bond remained strong, and they kept in touch through visits, calls, and shared moments that reminded them of their earlier days. For the remaining 10 years of Elvis's life, their friendship stayed intact, showing how much they valued each other regardless of their romantic past. Even as Elvis became a global icon, his friendship with Ann-Margret remained a steady and loyal part of his life. Many people around them admired how they could maintain such a meaningful relationship despite not being together romantically. They proved that sometimes friendship can be just as lasting and important as love. Their ability to stay close until Elvis's death demonstrated a genuine and loyal connection. No matter what challenges they faced, no one could prevent them from being friends for the rest of Elvis Presley's life. Their friendship reflected mutual respect and care that endured through all the changes and time. Even now, their story serves as a reminder that meaningful bonds can survive separation and time. The loyalty they shared was clear, and their friendship became a testament to genuine human connection beyond romantic feelings. Elvis and Ann-Margret's continuing friendship during those final years of his life showed that true friendship can last forever, no matter what. Certainly, when thinking about Elvis Presley and his movies, Ann-Margret stands out as his most significant co-star. She was the only actress who shared top billing with Elvis in any of his films, which shows the special connection they had on screen. Their chemistry was strong, and their performances together are remembered by many fans. Beyond their work in movies, Ann-Margret played an important role in Elvis's life. She was the only co-star who was invited to his funeral, showing the close bond they shared outside of filming. Her presence at such a personal and somber event indicates the deep respect and friendship that existed between them. After Elvis passed away, Ann-Margret was also the one who hosted memories of him and paid tribute to his life as the king of rock and roll. Her heartfelt reflections helped fans remember his talent and personality, and she used her platform to honor his legacy. Throughout the years, their association has remained a meaningful part of Elvis Presley's story, highlighting the importance of their relationship in both his film career and his personal life. Ann-Margret's unique position as Elvis's only top-billed co-star and her role in commemorating him after his death make her a significant figure in his story. Later in the summer of 1963, Elvis Presley and Ann-Margret crossed paths in a moment that would become part of entertainment history. When they first met in early July on the set of the film Viva Las Vegas, Elvis was 28 years old, already a household name with a career that included acting in 14 films. His fame had grown through his unique blend of singing talent and charismatic screen presence, making him one of the most popular entertainers in the world. In contrast, Ann-Margret was only 22, just beginning her rise to fame. She was at the start of her career and had not yet achieved the level of stardom Elvis had earned. Their meeting on the film set was significant because it marked the beginning of a close working relationship and an enduring friendship. Elvis's confident and relaxed attitude complemented Ann-Margret's youthful charm and talent. As they spent time together making the movie, their chemistry was clear to everyone. It was a meeting of two famous performers from different stages of their careers, with Elvis already a legendary figure and Margaret just starting her journey in Hollywood. Over the years, their friendship was well known and often talked about by fans and the media. Their bond reflected mutual respect and admiration, and their time working together in Las Vegas created memories that many still recall today. This meeting, in July 1963, became a notable moment in the history of American entertainment, showcasing two stars at different points in their careers coming together in a shared creative experience. Many people admired Elvis Presley, but few knew how aware he was of his star status. He knew that he had a special talent that made him different from other singers and actors. His charm and style drew people to him, and he quickly became one of the most famous stars of his time. The star of the movie Bye Bye Birdie, Ann-Margret, understood just how popular Elvis was. She saw that he had a way of winning the hearts of almost everyone he met. It was clear that his personality and talent made him irresistible to women and fans alike. In fact, Elvis had a way of making people feel special when they were around him. Ann-Margret, who also was a talented actress and singer, watched Elvis closely. She knew that many women had fallen for him, and she wondered if she too might be one of those lucky few. To her surprise, she discovered that she did fall for him. It was unexpected for her, as she had not planned to develop feelings for someone she simply worked with. Still, his genuine personality and undeniable charisma left a lasting impression on her. Elvis's ability to win hearts went beyond just fans. He managed to touch the lives of people around him, even those who initially did not expect to feel connected. His star status was not just about fame, but also about the way he made others feel special and appreciated. Despite all the attention and fame, Elvis remained aware of how much he influenced others and appreciated the admiration he received. He knew the power of his star and used it to connect with people in a meaningful way. Through his talent, personality, and presence, Elvis Presley became a true icon whose star shone brightly in the world of music and entertainment. Initially, the publicity department organized a well-planned meeting between Elvis Presley and Margaret to promote the upcoming film Viva Las Vegas before the main filming started. They wanted to create a good impression and generate excitement for the movie. During this meeting, both Elvis and Margaret recorded their individual songs for the film, showcasing their musical talents. Elvis was dressed in a suit and tie, giving him a polished and formal appearance that matched his star status. Margaret wore a double-button white turtleneck sweater and had her hair tied back neatly, presenting a stylish and elegant look. The session was carefully arranged to capture their solo numbers, which would be used in the movie. This meeting helped to promote the film and highlight the star's musical abilities. It also showed the professional effort behind the scenes to make the movie successful. Elvis and Margaret's coordinated recording session was just one part of the larger publicity plan designed to attract audiences and make Viva Las Vegas a hit. Their formal dress in the recording studio reflected their professionalism and the importance of the project. The publicity department's planning included making sure that Elvis's star power and Margaret's rising fame were both showcased to fans and the general public. This meeting contributed to the overall excitement leading up to the film's release and helped to establish a positive image for both stars. Their solo recordings in this setting are remembered as important moments in their careers and in the promotion of Viva Las Vegas. After a brief but memorable introduction, where photographers captured images of Elvis Presley and Ann-Margret, their meeting was quick and left a lasting impression. It was a moment filled with anticipation and excitement as fans watched the two entertainers, whose presence alone could attract attention. Soon after this first encounter, they met again on July 11 at Radio Recorder's studio located at 7000 Santa Monica Boulevard in Los Angeles. The second meeting was different because it was focused on working together creatively. Elvis had recently recorded 6 songs for a film project, which showed his growing popularity and versatility as an artist. Now, he and Ann-Margret prepared to perform together in duets, an experience that highlighted both their talents and the special chemistry they shared on stage. Their collaboration was a significant event, as it brought two popular stars together in a recording studio where music magic could happen. The atmosphere was lively and full of energy, with both artists eager to create something memorable for their fans. This session at Radio Recorders marked a notable point in Elvis Presley's career, illustrating his ability to blend acting and music seamlessly. Their duet recordings at this time became cherished moments for many fans who admired Elvis not just as a singer, but as a versatile performer capable of connecting with different artists and audiences. Throughout these meetings, Elvis's charm and professionalism shone through, adding to his already rising fame. Everything about this collaboration captured the essence of the era, reflecting the excitement and talent that made Elvis Presley a legendary figure in music history. After some time, Elvis Presley recorded several duets that showcased his ability to blend with different artists and create memorable performances. Among these recordings were songs like The Lady Loves Me, You're the Boss, and Today, Tomorrow, and Forever. When Elvis performed these songs with his duet partners, an immediate magic seemed to develop. They looked at each other and sensed they were on the same wavelength, and the performances sparkled with real energy and emotion. This chemistry made the song special and left a strong impression on anyone listening. Just 3 days later, Elvis and his team traveled to Las Vegas, a city known for its vibrant music and entertainment scene. They checked into the Sahara Hotel, a popular location for stars and performers. During their time in Las Vegas, local filming took place, capturing the performances and behind-the-scenes moments. The filming in the city lasted from July 15 until July 26, giving Elvis and his team enough time to record and film different scenes. After the busy week, they took a short break over the weekend before returning to Los Angeles, where filming continued at the MGM studios. This phase of filming stretched through August and into the first week of September, showing the dedication and effort Elvis and his team put into making each performance and scene perfect. Throughout this time, Elvis's charisma and talent shone through, whether in front of the camera or during live performances, helping to cement his place as one of the greatest entertainers of his era. Early during filming, Elvis Presley asked her to go out with him along with others to see a show in Las Vegas. The invitation was friendly and innocent, as Elvis wanted to spend some time with his co-star outside of filming. They went to Las Vegas and enjoyed the show together, and during that night, a special bond began to form between them. Quickly, their chemistry was undeniable, and it was clear to everyone that something more was developing. They found they shared many similarities and understood each other deeply, like kindred spirits. Their connection grew stronger as they spent more time together, and many believed that this friendship could turn into something more meaningful. Elvis's charming personality and her warmth created a perfect match, making their relationship a remarkable story in the world of entertainment. This initial outing in Las Vegas marked the beginning of a relationship filled with genuine understanding and shared moments. Their bond was built on simple friendship, but it soon became evident that they were meant to find each other in a special way. With their spirits truly aligned from the start, after the filming ended, their connection did not fade. Instead, it grew stronger and more intense, filled with playful energy and genuine affection. They would often entertain themselves by playing music together in private, in a way that was just as powerful as their on-screen chemistry. Their bond was so lively that they created a scene that seemed almost explosive, full of spontaneous fun. One favorite activity was to dance in front of Elvis's friends and entourage, with a cat sometimes dancing across the floor, adding to the lively atmosphere. Elvis would tease his companions with his sensual voice, saying, "You got me running," and Ann-Margret, always quick-witted, would reply with a playful smile, "You got me hiding." Their conversations and interactions seemed to carry the same energy and passion as their performances, showing that beyond the cameras, their chemistry was real and intense. This bond was not just about music or acting, but a mixture of trust, fun, and teasing that brought them closer together. Their time together was marked by lively moments that kept everyone entertained and reflected the spark that made their connection so special, both on and off the stage. Elvis Presley, known as the King of Rock and Roll, shared a special connection with a woman he affectionately called Thumper, a code name she used when she contacted him from Graceland. Their private life was filled with moments of hidden affection and companionship away from the public eye. They often spent many nights driving through the streets of Los Angeles, enjoying the freedom that came with the anonymity of being just two people on the road. These nighttime drives gave them a sense of escape from the pressures of fame and allowed them to be themselves without interruption. During these nights, they talked and laughed, making memories under the city lights, sharing a bond that went beyond their careers. Elvis, who liked to be called EP by her, found comfort and happiness in these quiet times together, away from the spotlight. Their movie careers also played a role in their lives, as they often found ways to support each other amid busy schedules. Despite their fame, these nights spent together helped them find peace and joy, creating a private world they cherished. They valued each other's company deeply, sharing moments that remained private and precious, strengthening their bond over time. These nights were filled with a mix of fun, relaxation, and love, making their relationship unique and special amid their busy lives in Hollywood. Their story shows how even famous stars need moments of intimacy and quiet to enjoy simple pleasures. Without revealing too much, their nights together in Los Angeles reveal a side of Elvis that many may not know, one that was about connection, friendship, and finding happiness in the small things. The memories of those nights linger as a reminder of the personal moments that made their relationship meaningful and genuine. These experiences helped both of them to escape for a while and find comfort in each other's company during their busy lives. As days went by, both Elvis Presley and his close friends gradually realized that they felt very comfortable when they were together. They found that their personalities were quite similar, which helped them connect on a deeper level. They shared many interests beyond just music, which made their bond even stronger. One of these common passions was motorcycles, as they both loved the feeling of freedom riding on open roads. They also valued their families very much, and often spoke about the importance of family life and the happiness it brought them. Privacy was important to both of them, and they preferred to keep their personal lives out of the spotlight. They shared a strong devotion to God, which guided many of their decisions and gave them comfort during difficult times. Late at night, they enjoyed talking about their dreams, hopes, and fears, often spending hours in deep conversation. These talks helped them understand each other better and built a sense of trust and friendship. Their shared interests and similar outlooks on life created a special kind of bond that lasted, rooted in genuine understanding and mutual respect. Elvis Presley's life was touched by these meaningful connections, which offered him comfort and companionship amidst his busy and often challenging career. At the heart of the story lies the idea that life, much like a hall of mirrors, reflects everything that brings joy and love, creating a beautiful and mesmerizing scene. In this context, the Hall of Mirrors symbolizes how the joys and passions of life are reflected back onto us, doubling the happiness when we embrace it fully. The scene is set in a world where they stumble into this hall, not by accident, but because they are open to experiencing all that life offers. Instead of fighting the reflections or trying to change what they see, they decide to go with the flow, allowing the mirrors to show them their true selves and the beauty around them. Even as they dance, their movements are perfectly timed and graceful, as if guided by a deeper understanding and harmony. The synchronization between their steps, their emotions, and the music feels magical, almost as though they are part of something much larger than themselves. Their dance is a representation of how embracing life's reflections allows them to connect deeply with the moment, creating a dance that is fluid, effortless, and inspiring. This magical connection, rooted in acceptance and joy, transforms their experience into something extraordinary, showing that when you live with an open heart and go with life's flow, moments of perfect harmony and beauty can happen naturally. After the filming of Viva Las Vegas, tensions arose between Elvis Presley and his co-star due to issues related to their egos. Both men were very self-confident and sensitive about their status, which sometimes caused conflicts on set. Elvis, in particular, felt that the director George Sidney favored his co-star by giving her better camera angles and more flattering shots. Elvis believed that this was unfair and felt hurt and threatened, turning what could have been a smooth working relationship into a source of stress. At the same time, both Elvis and his co-star were emotionally dependent in ways that made conflicts even more intense. Elvis was known for being self-destructive and often emotionally vulnerable, which affected how he responded to criticisms or perceived slights. The film set became a place where their personal insecurities and egos clashed, especially around the issue of camera work and likability in the final cut. The tension was heightened because both individuals were sensitive to their image and how they appeared on screen. Their emotional dependence meant they struggled to accept any perceived slight or favoritism without reacting strongly. Overall, the only real threat to their relationship during the filming was their own fragile egos and emotional reliance, which led to misunderstandings and conflicts centered around issues of recognition and respect. The disagreements over camera angles reflected deeper feelings of insecurity and the desire to be appreciated, making the atmosphere on set more tense. Despite the conflicts, both Elvis and his co-star remained focused on their performances, but the underlying issues certainly colored their interactions and added a layer of complexity to the production process. Because of this, Elvis Presley felt a sense of professional jealousy. He believed that Ann-Margret was trying to take a larger role and perhaps overshadow him in their performances. Elvis talked about how he felt she was trying to cut him out of the picture, which made him feel overlooked. In reality, the final cut of the film showed that director George Sidney made sure Ann-Margret's beauty and skills as a dancer were clearly recognized and highlighted. This sometimes meant that Elvis had to accept being in the background and taking a less prominent role. While Elvis was very talented himself, he sometimes felt frustrated because he wanted to be at the center of attention, especially when he believed others were trying to take that spotlight away from him. His feelings of professional jealousy were understandable, especially given his fame and desire to be recognized as a leading figure. Throughout the filming, these emotions were evident, and Elvis expressed his disappointment about how the final product looked, feeling that others had gained more recognition at his expense. However, everyone involved knew Elvis's star power and the impact he had on audiences. Despite his feelings of jealousy, Elvis continued to perform with passion and dedication, but the tension about recognition and roles in the project remained a part of his experience at that time. This situation shows how even top stars like Elvis Presley could experience feelings of envy and frustration when their contributions seemed to be overshadowed or not adequately appreciated. Despite facing disagreements and moments of tension, Elvis Presley was able to find reasons to swallow his pride, especially when it came to his personal relationships. During a period when there was some controversy over camera angles in a filming session, it was evident that Elvis sometimes let professional jealousy show. This situation could have created friction, not only professionally, but also in his personal life. However, he managed to keep his feelings in check and did not allow these moments to spill over into his relationship with Ann-Margret, a woman he cared deeply about. Their bond remained strong despite the challenges and misunderstandings that arose behind the scenes. Elvis valued his personal connections and understood the importance of maintaining respect and harmony with those close to him. Even when disagreements occurred, he showed a willingness to set aside his ego and prioritize the relationship over temporary professional frustrations. This ability to keep personal feelings separate from work conflicts demonstrated his maturity and his recognition of what truly mattered in his life. Their relationship endured because he chose to focus on the loyalty and affection he had for Ann-Margret, knowing that personal harmony was more important than any brief professional dispute. Elvis's capacity to balance his emotions, especially in the face of internal conflict, helped preserve the warmth and trust that defined his relationship with Ann-Margret, even during difficult times. Certainly, from the moment Elvis Presley and Ann-Margret met, their connection seemed to grow rapidly, capturing everyone's attention around them. It was clear to those close to them that their relationship was more than just a fleeting romance. Everyone could see the undeniable chemistry between the two, as if a spark ignited instantly and burned bright with intensity. The love they shared progressed quickly, becoming a full-blown affair that was impossible to ignore. Lamar Fike, a trusted confidant of Elvis, openly stated that Elvis' feelings for Ann-Margret went beyond superficial attraction. He believed Elvis was truly in love with her, not just engaging in a casual relationship. Their bond intensified with each passing day, turning into something much deeper and more meaningful. As their relationship heated up, it became evident that what they shared was genuine and passionate. The chemistry between Elvis and Ann-Margret was so strong that it left a lasting impression on everyone who saw them together, evidence of a love that truly evolved from initial attraction into something more profound and real. The affair was marked by moments filled with emotion, energy, and an authentic connection that resonated through their actions and the way they looked at each other, making it clear that this was a love story that had grown rapidly, but also deeply. Despite the challenges that often come with such high-profile relationships, their love for each other remained vibrant and compelling, illustrating how quickly and intensely real love can develop when it is genuine and heartfelt. Certainly, Elvis Presley, the legendary singer and performer, was a man known for his exceptional talent and his deep connections with those around him. According to Marty Lacker, a close associate of Elvis, neither Elvis nor Priscilla Presley was married at the time he spoke, and both cared a lot about each other. Priscilla was often back at Graceland, the famous mansion that Elvis called home, which symbolized their close relationship and mutual regard. Despite the many rumors and stories about Elvis' love life, this particular insight emphasizes that their bond was based on genuine affection. When it comes to other relationships, such as that with Ann-Margret, she chose not to focus on passionate or intimate details in her book. Instead, she highlighted the many adventures they shared, including motorcycle rides and other activities that showed their friendship was strong and filled with fun and companionship. These stories shed light on the caring nature Elvis had for those close to him and how he valued his friendships deeply. His connections went beyond fame and glitter, showing a man who genuinely cared for the people in his life and enjoyed sharing moments of happiness and adventure. The way he built bonds with friends like Ann-Margret and Priscilla reveals much about his character and heart. His story continues to inspire many who see him not just as a musical icon, but also as a person who valued caring relationships and shared meaningful experience. After filming for Viva Las Vegas was finished, the romance between Elvis Presley and Ann-Margret continued to blossom. Elvis was known for his deep affection and often expressed his feelings through thoughtful gestures and generous gifts. He would write her letters filled with kind words and encouragement, constantly letting her know how much he appreciated her presence. Flowers were also a regular gift from Elvis, sometimes sent unexpectedly to brighten her day and remind her of their connection. In addition to these heartfelt gestures, Elvis went out of his way to give Ann-Margret elegant gifts, showing his admiration and respect for her. Pink was Ann-Margret's signature color, symbolizing love and tenderness, and Elvis wanted to make sure she knew how much she cared for her through this personal present. The pink love heartbed became a symbol of their continuing romance, representing not only affection, but also the sincerity of Elvis' feelings. Throughout their time together, Elvis's romantic gestures reflected his desire to maintain and deepen their bond after the official filming was over. Their relationship was marked by these small yet meaningful acts of love, which made their connection memorable and special for both of them. Elvis's devotion to Ann-Margret was evident in every letter, flower, and gift, especially the pink love heartbed that remains a symbol of their romance. Initially, Elvis Presley and his partner opened themselves up to each other completely, sharing their thoughts, dreams, and feelings honestly. For some time, they trusted each other deeply and let their love grow stronger through sincere communication. They believed that honesty would keep their relationship solid and lasting. However, despite their efforts to stay truthful and open, they faced many challenges that could not be ignored. They tried to maintain their fiery love, which was full of passion and excitement, but outside influences and personal differences began to take a toll. Various factors made it hard to continue together, and the honest connection they once shared started to weaken. Their feelings for each other remained intense, but the reality of their circumstances and the complex reasons behind their disagreements eventually led to their breakup. No matter how strong their love seemed, these issues proved too much to overcome, and they had to part ways. The love they shared was real and passionate, but not enough to sustain their relationship through all the difficulties they faced. Although Elvis Presley was already involved with Margaret, he also developed a close relationship with Priscilla, an 18-year-old girl. The first reason for their connection was that Elvis had promised to marry Priscilla. She became more than just a casual acquaintance. She was a young girl who was starting to spend a lot of time around Elvis. In fact, Priscilla Bollier, as she was known before marriage, was already living at Graceland, Elvis' famous home, awaiting their wedding. Meanwhile, Elvis was still with Margaret, his girlfriend at the time. This situation created a complicated scene because Elvis's feelings and promises were clear, but his relationship with Margaret continued. Elvis's relationship with Priscilla marked an important part of his life, showing how he was torn between different commitments and feelings. As her time at Graceland increased, so did the attention and interest between Elvis and Priscilla, setting the stage for future developments in their relationship. Their story highlights how Elvis's personal life was intertwined with his career and the complex emotions involved in his romantic decisions. Throughout this period, Priscilla remained closely connected to Elvis, waiting patiently while Elvis navigated his feelings and relationships, all while managing his rise to fame and the expectations of his fans. This part of Elvis's life remains an interesting story about love, promises, and the choices that shape a person's life. Many people are familiar with Elvis Presley as a legendary singer and actor who changed the face of popular music. However, behind the public image, there was a side of Elvis that few knew about. According to Ann-Margret, a close friend and fellow entertainer, Elvis had a deep desire to marry her. She revealed that his wish was for them to stay together and build a life as husband and wife. This shows that Elvis's feelings for Ann-Margret were genuine, and he hoped for a future with her. Yet, despite his personal wishes, Elvis was under enormous pressure from his manager and from the outside world to marry his long-term girlfriend, Priscilla Presley. His manager constantly pushed him to focus on his career and public image, which meant complying with societal expectations. The public and media also played a role, creating a lot of noise about his love life and responsibilities as a star. Elvis was caught between what he truly wanted and what was expected of him by others. Although he cared deeply for Priscilla, his feelings for Ann-Margret reportedly remained strong in his mind. These conflicting emotions and external pressures made it difficult for Elvis to follow his heart fully. Despite these struggles, Elvis's relationships and personal choices reflected the inner conflict of a man torn between love, duty, and fame. His story highlights the complexity behind the famous image and reveals a more personal side of the king of rock and roll. The tension between his true feelings and the demands placed on him by managers and society played a significant role in shaping his life and legacy. This struggle adds depth to his story, showing that he was more than just a performer. He was a person who faced difficult decisions and emotional challenges. The desire to pursue happiness often clashed with the obligations imposed by the world around him, leaving a lasting impact on his life and career. Elvis's wish to be with Ann-Margret remains a poignant part of his story, illustrating the human side of a musical icon who wanted love and companionship above all. After discovering Elvis Presley's affair, Priscilla's anger grew intense. Although she understood that Elvis often had a wandering eye, she felt particularly threatened by his relationship with Ann-Margret, who was his co-star in the movie Viva Las Vegas. When Elvis finally confessed to having an affair with Ann-Margret, Priscilla's emotions spilled over. She recalls her fury being overwhelming at that moment, and in her rage, she picked up a flower vase and threw it across the room, smashing it against the wall. Her feelings of betrayal and jealousy were deeply rooted, and this act showed how deeply hurt she was by the revelation. Despite her love for Elvis, this incident marked a turning point where her trust was shattered. Her honesty about feeling threatened highlights how complex their relationship was, filled with love, but also marked by jealousy and pain. The incident with the vase remains a poignant memory of her reaction to his unfaithfulness, illustrating just how intense her emotions were during this difficult time with Elvis Presley. Because of the tension surrounding Elvis Presley's relationship with his young bride-to-be, tension that escalated due to issues of infidelity and emotional conflict, Elvis found himself at a crossroads. His fiancée was so upset about his affair that she was on the verge of ending their relationship entirely. Elvis, feeling overwhelmed and unsure of what to do, even considered sending her back to Germany where she was from, hoping some space might help her calm down and gain perspective. However, his manager, Colonel Tom Parker, who was deeply involved in Elvis' career and personal life, saw this as a problematic solution. Instead of allowing Elvis to distance himself or wait for the situation to settle, Colonel Parker pressed him to take a definitive step. He pushed Elvis to marry Priscilla Presley, who had become a significant part of Elvis' life. Parker believed that tying the knot would bring stability and help resolve the emotional upheaval caused by the affair. His pressure was intense, as he understood that Elvis' personal happiness was intertwined with his public image and career, despite Elvis's inner conflicts. Under the strong influence of Colonel Parker, Elvis decided to proceed with the marriage to Priscilla. This decision shaped much of Elvis's personal life and had lasting effects on his journey as he navigated love, loyalty, and the demands of fame. The situation underscores the difficult choices Elvis faced and how influential his manager was in shaping his future. From the moment Elvis Presley rose to fame, he found himself under constant media scrutiny. The press eagerly followed his every move, eager to find dirt or create sensational stories to sell more newspapers. This overzealous behavior from journalists led to a relentless onslaught, where every aspect of Elvis's personal life and career was dissected and exaggerated. Sometimes the media used yellow journalism, which means they spread rumors, lies, and sensationalist stories to attract attention. This relentless press involvement created a huge pressure on Elvis, who was already struggling with his rapid rise to stardom. As the media continued its assault, Elvis began to feel overwhelmed and emotionally drained. His mental state grew fragile, and he became visibly off balance in public appearances. During this difficult time, actress Ann-Margret, who was close to Elvis and appeared with him in movies, possibly overplayed her hand by trying to defend him or be overly involved in his struggles. This situation further intensified the media's focus on Elvis, fueling negative stories and rumors. Eventually, the stress and emotional burden became too much for Elvis, causing him to reach a breaking point. Unable to cope with the pressure, the media frenzy, and the personal tensions around him, Elvis made a decisive and emotional choice to end his trouble-filled saga. The press involvement and onslaught had taken a toll, pushing Elvis to a place where he could no longer handle the endless scrutiny or the emotional strain it caused. His response was a reflection of his distress, marking a turning point in his life and career. After the success of Viva Las Vegas, a special event was organized for its premiere in London, attracting many fans and celebrities. Ann-Margret, the talented actress and singer who starred alongside Elvis Presley in the film, was required to travel to London for this important event. However, since she was a well-known star, she needed to attend the premiere in person to celebrate the film's release. Unfortunately, she had to travel alone because Tom Parker, Elvis' manager, did not have a passport at that time, which meant he was unable to leave the country. This situation created a dilemma for Elvis Presley because, without Tom Parker, he could not leave either, as Parker was responsible for orchestrating Elvis's international appearances and tours. Despite this obstacle, Elvis was eager to support Ann-Margret and be part of the premiere event in London. Because of Parker's lack of a passport, Elvis' presence was limited to local events and promotions instead of the big international debut in London. The absence of Parker and Elvis's inability to travel to London meant that the premiere was somewhat different from what was originally planned, with Ann-Margret representing the film in person. This situation highlighted the importance of travel documents for artists and the complicated logistics involved in international film premieres. Fans and followers of Elvis Presley learned about these travel issues, which temporarily limited Elvis's ability to participate in certain events abroad. Still, the excitement for the film and Elvis's popularity remained strong, and his music and movies continued to influence fans worldwide. Throughout this period, Elvis' career was marked by his charm, talent, and the challenges that came with managing an international celebrity status. Despite difficulties with travel and logistics, Elvis' legacy in music and film continued to grow, captivating audiences and inspiring other artists. The London premiere of Viva Las Vegas thus became a memorable event, not only because of the film itself, but also due to the travel complications that kept Elvis from attending in person and highlighted his global fame. When Ann-Margret hit the red carpet, the press immediately focused on her alleged relationship with Elvis Presley. They asked her numerous questions about their connection, trying to uncover details about their personal lives. Rumors had been circulating for some time, and reporters were eager to find out if there was truth to these stories. Ann-Margret, known for her charm and poise, responded carefully, avoiding direct answers, but acknowledging that she and Elvis shared a special bond. The media went further to report that the couple was deeply in love, portraying their relationship as affectionate and genuine. They described how Elvis and Ann-Margret appeared close during public appearances, and their chemistry was undeniable to those watching. Reports also mentioned that the pair, famous for their collaboration in the movie Viva Las Vegas, was considering marriage. The idea of a wedding sparked even more interest among fans and the press, who speculated about plans for the future. The media coverage painted a picture of two stars in love, possibly heading towards a lifetime partnership. Throughout the event, the press's questions and reports kept the story alive, fueling rumors and fascination around Elvis Presley and Ann-Margret's relationship. Their interactions on that red carpet became a memorable moment in entertainment news, capturing public attention and adding to the mystique surrounding Elvis's personal life. After the news spread, it became clear that Elvis Presley was upset and believed that someone had leaked false information about his relationship with Ann-Margret. Although they were not engaged, rumors had started to circulate that suggested something more serious or personal was happening between them. Elvis felt that the press was misrepresenting his relationship with Margaret, and he wanted to clear the air. He believed Ann-Margret had some role in the situation, especially because she tried to warn him about what was being said in the media. Margaret made attempts to call Elvis and explain her side, trying to prevent the false stories from damaging their reputations. However, by the time she reached him, the big news had already made its way to the United States and caused a lot of speculation. Elvis accused Ann-Margret of leaking the story to the press, which she strongly denied. She insisted she had no part in spreading any rumors and was just as surprised by the stories as everyone else. Despite her denials, the tension between them increased because Elvis believed the rumors were deliberately planted to hurt him or create a scandal. This misunderstanding created complications in their relationship, and both stars had to face the fallout from the sensational news. Throughout this time, Elvis remained confused and upset about who was behind the leaks and why they wanted to hurt him, all while trying to manage public perception and protect his image. This episode highlighted not only how easily rumors could spread, but also how fragile trust can become when misunderstandings occur, especially under the intense scrutiny of the press. Neither Elvis nor Ann-Margret had concrete proof of who was responsible, and the accusations remained a sore spot, adding to the complex story of their time in the spotlight. Initially, when news of Elvis Presley's relationship with Ann-Margret became public, the media greatly exaggerated the details. She tried to explain that the stories they spread were not true, and that the press was blowing everything out of proportion. She told reporters that what they reported was not an accurate picture of their relationship, and that the press was making things seem far more intense than they actually were, despite her efforts to clarify the truth. The press continued to publish sensational stories, which overwhelmed both Ann-Margret and Elvis Presley. She thought that their stories about her and Elvis were grossly exaggerated, and she believed that it was all too much for Elvis, who was already under enormous pressure due to his fame and career. Shortly after this relentless press onslaught, Elvis Presley ended his relationship with Ann-Margret. It became clear that the media's intense coverage was taking a toll on their connection, and Elvis decided to break off the affair. As time went on, Elvis stopped returning Ann-Margret's calls, which she was mentally prepared for. She understood that their relationship couldn't last because Elvis was already engaged to someone else. She knew the reality of his commitments and the difficulties he faced because of his fame and personal life. Despite her feelings, she accepted that their relationship had to end, especially with the public scrutiny and Elvis's other obligations looming over them. The press's exaggerations and the breakup marked a difficult chapter in their lives, highlighting how media attention could change personal relationships deeply rooted in emotion. Certainly, when looking at Elvis Presley, one important aspect of his life was his relationship with Priscilla. During that 1 year of their romance, Priscilla was able to create many beautiful memories with Elvis. Their time together was filled with moments that both of them cherished deeply. Elvis was known for his charm and warmth, which made their connection special. After that year, Elvis felt the need to return to his home at Graceland, but he also kept his promise to Priscilla. He wanted to make their relationship official and solidify their bond, so he decided to propose to her, and this moment was very important in their lives. They chose Las Vegas as the place to get married, and on May 1, 1967, Elvis and Priscilla tied the knot. Their marriage was seen as a significant event, not only for them but also for their fans. Their love story was marked by these special memories and the commitment they made to each other. Over the years, their relationship remained a memorable part of Elvis's life, showing his ability to love and promise a future to someone special. Elvis fulfilled his promise with Priscilla, and their wedding was a celebration of that commitment. The memories they shared during their courtship and the marriage itself became part of the lasting legacy of the King of Rock and Roll. These moments reflect the deep bond they had and the importance of love and loyalty in Elvis Presley's life. Many people believe that Elvis Presley had a strong preference for Priscilla because he valued stability and calmness in his relationships, while the media often highlighted his potential interest in Ann-Margret, suggesting that Elvis might have married her if circumstances had been different. It is true that his personal choices reflected a different pattern. Elvis was known to prefer relationships with women who were less fiery and more easygoing, looking for companionship and understanding rather than intense passion or drama. Despite his attraction to glamorous and talented women like Ann-Margret, he seemed to gravitate toward partners who offered a sense of peace and steadiness. In the long run, his relationships often centered around women who could provide him comfort and keep life simple amidst his busy and often chaotic career. While the media sometimes speculated about what could have been, Elvis' actual preferences showed that he did not seek conflict or highly spirited personalities. Instead, he appeared to value harmony in his personal life, which might explain his preference for women like Priscilla, who brought calmness and steadiness. This pattern was consistent, even though others might have thought he was drawn to more fiery personalities. Elvis's love life ultimately reflected his desire for balance and a peaceful connection, qualities he found more in women who were more relaxed and easier to get along with. His choices in relationships highlight that, despite external appearances and media rumors, he valued compatibility and quiet affection over intense or tumultuous affairs. Despite sharing some common traits and personalities with Ann-Margret, Elvis Presley did not see her as the partner he was searching for. He held traditional ideas about marriage and gender roles, believing that a wife should take on a supportive and nurturing role, while a husband should be the provider and head of the household. Elvis's views were shaped by the society he grew up in, and he valued stability, loyalty, and a respectful partnership that followed these traditional principles. In contrast, Ann-Margret was a strong and assertive woman who pursued her career passionately and was known for her independence and determination. She was a force in the entertainment world in her own right, often taking control of her career and making her own decisions. While Elvis appreciated strong women, his idea of the perfect partner was someone who fit inside his traditional view of marriage, which did not align with Ann-Margret's assertive and career-focused personality. This difference in perspectives helped explain why, despite their chemistry and mutual respect, Elvis was not looking for a woman like Ann-Margret to share his life in the way he envisioned. His ideas about gender roles and marriage shaped his choices and relationships throughout his life, often favoring partners who supported his traditional values. By understanding these differences, it becomes clear why their relationship remained professional and friendly rather than romantic or deeply personal. Elvis's beliefs about gender and marriage played a big role in his personal life and decisions, influencing the people he chose to surround himself with and the way he built his life and career. Their contrasting characters highlight the complex nature of relationships, especially when traditional ideas clash with modern independence. None of this diminished the respect they had for each other, but it shows how personal beliefs about roles and goals can shape the course of relationships in significant ways. Elvis's view of marriage was deeply rooted in a desire for a traditional and harmonious partnership, which was a stark contrast to Ann-Margret's assertive nature and her independent pursuit of success and recognition. Despite this, both remain important figures in each other's lives, each embodying different aspects of the changing roles of women and men during their time. Their stories reflect the broader conversations about gender roles, personal ambitions, and the search for compatibility in a world that was evolving rapidly. Ultimately, Elvis's traditional ideas regarding marriage and gender roles stood apart from Ann-Margret's self-assured, career-driven approach, shaping their interactions and the way they related to each other. Elvis Presley, the legendary singer and actor, faced many personal choices throughout his life, especially when it came to his relationships. Despite the attention he received from many women, Elvis always seemed to have a special place in his heart for Priscilla. He was deeply connected to her and ultimately would have consistently chosen Priscilla over Ann-Margret. While Elvis was romantically linked with Ann-Margret and shared a well-known friendship with her, his feelings appeared to be stronger and more significant with Priscilla. Ann-Margret, another popular actress and singer, went on to marry the actor Roger Smith. Their marriage lasted for an impressive 50 years, until her husband passed away in 2017. Meanwhile, Elvis and Priscilla's relationship did not last forever. They divorced in 1973, just 6 years after their marriage. This breakup marked a significant change in Elvis' personal life, yet his feelings for Priscilla remained a defining part of his story. Their relationship, though short-lived in the grand scheme of his life, was an important chapter that highlighted Elvis' ability to choose love despite all the fame and distractions surrounding him. His life was filled with decisions about whom to love and how to shape his personal future, and ultimately, he made choices that reflected his true feelings for Priscilla. When Elvis Presley made his first appearance in Las Vegas, he wanted to show his support and affection for Ann-Margret. Knowing how much she loved flowers, he sent a special floral bouquet in the shape of a guitar as a gift. This gesture was not just a one-time thing. Elvis continued to send floral arrangements shaped like guitars to honor her at every one of her Las Vegas opening nights. His act of giving flowers became part of the tradition and was a sign of his admiration and encouragement. During one of Elvis's own performances at the International Hotel, Elvis was pleased to see Ann-Margret in the audience, sitting front and center. As he stepped onto the stage, he glanced into the crowd and spotted her immediately. Suddenly, something extraordinary happened. Elvis saw the room grow dark, and the lights dimmed. The audience seemed to vanish, becoming invisible almost instantly, and both Elvis and Ann-Margret found themselves standing alone in an empty space. It felt as if the world outside disappeared, leaving only the two of them together, just like the moment they first met. This special scene seemed to symbolize their close bond and the magical connection they shared, which was often reflected in their performances and public appearances. Elvis' tradition of sending flowers and the memorable moments in Las Vegas show how much he appreciated her presence and how deeply their friendship meant. Their story in Las Vegas remains a unique part of music and entertainment history, treasured by fans and remembered for its special gestures and unforgettable moments. During the 1970s, Elvis Presley and Ann-Margret often attended Las Vegas shows whenever their schedules allowed. The vibrant city was a popular destination for both of them, as it had become a hub for entertainment and spectacle. Their visits to Vegas shows were more than just casual outings. They shared the experience of watching famous performers and enjoying the lively atmosphere of the entertainment capital. After their nights at the shows, they would meet up and talk about their lives, careers, and personal struggles. Throughout that period, both Elvis and Ann-Margret faced challenges with dependencies that affected their well-being. Elvis, who was known for his powerful voice and magnetic stage presence, struggled with substance abuse, particularly overdose incidents involving prescription medications. These overdoses highlighted his ongoing battle with addiction and the toll it took on his health and career. Meanwhile, Ann-Margret, famed for her acting and singing talent, fought her own fight against alcohol addiction. Despite these difficulties, their friendship remained a source of support for each other, and their shared visits to Las Vegas reflected moments of escape and connection amid their personal struggles. Their times together in Vegas paint a picture of two talented artists coping with the pressures of fame while seeking solace in each other's company during a tumultuous decade. After experiencing a serious facial injury in 1972, when Ann-Margret fell 22 feet from a platform at a Lake Tahoe casino during a show, she and Elvis Presley decided to return to performing. A few months after her accident, they went back to the Las Vegas Hilton, a place where both of them had performed many times before. At that time, Elvis was the main star at the hotel, drawing large crowds with his singing and charisma. As Margaret prepared for her comeback, she recalled her past relationship with Elvis and the many memories they shared during their careers. Seeing Elvis on stage again brought back flashbacks of their time working closely and the special bond they had. However, over the years, she had married and remained faithful to her husband, which changed her feelings and the nature of her relationship with Elvis. Despite her personal commitments, the reunion at the hotel was filled with nostalgia and reflection on their past successes. The time had moved on, and both knew that their paths had changed, but the moments they shared on stage and in memories remained significant. Margaret's comeback was not just a professional return, but also a reminder of their history and the complex feelings of friendship, fame, and the passage of time. Elvis's presence and the setting of the Las Vegas Hilton symbolized a chapter in their lives where past and present briefly intersected, leaving a lasting impression on everyone involved. Later in her life, she managed to overcome her addiction and health struggles, but Elvis Presley was not able to do the same. Despite her efforts to improve her life, Elvis continued to face health problems and personal challenges. In early 1977, she heard disturbing rumors that Elvis' health was worsening significantly. These rumors caused concern among his fans and loved ones. When she opened her show at the Hilton, she noticed something unusual. There was no bouquet of flowers or telegram from Elvis, which was a tradition for over 10 years. Usually, Elvis sent her flowers as a sign of his support and affection, especially on special occasions. The absence of these flowers indicated that Elvis' health might have been declining or that their relationship had changed. This absence marked a somber moment, making everyone realize that Elvis' struggles were becoming more serious. Rumors about his health had circulated before, but this was the first time such a significant gesture was missing. It was a clear sign that Elvis was facing difficulties that he could not easily overcome. Despite her own success in overcoming her struggles, she understood that Elvis was still fighting his own battles, and the lack of flowers symbolized that his health and possibly his life were in danger. The news of his deteriorating condition spread through the fans and the music world, raising concerns about his future. This moment marked a turning point in how people viewed Elvis's health and the ongoing challenges he faced behind the scenes. The absence of the usual flowers served as a stark reminder of the difficulties he was experiencing and the toll it was taking on him. After a long and successful career, Elvis Presley, the king of rock and roll, faced a tragic end. The next morning, a phone call from Graceland brought devastating news that Elvis was no longer alive. Joe Esposito, a close friend and confidant of Elvis, explained to family and friends that the news would cause chaos in Memphis, especially around Graceland, and advised her not to come to the house. However, despite the warning, she decided to go to Graceland and pay her respects. When she arrived, she was met with a heavy atmosphere of sorrow and remembrance. She and Elvis's father, Vernon Presley, embraced warmly, sharing a moment of grief and comfort. Vernon softly told her that he was so proud of Elvis and all he had achieved. The news spread quickly across Memphis and the entire world, causing an outpouring of grief from fans and loved ones. The funeral arrangements drew thousands of mourners, who came to bid farewell to a man who had touched so many lives with his music and charisma. Elvis's death marked a significant moment in music history, leaving behind a legacy that would continue to influence generations. His passing left a void in the hearts of fans everywhere, and his memory was celebrated through tributes and stories of his extraordinary life. The impact of his death was felt deeply, not only in Memphis but across the globe, as people remembered him as the legendary artist who changed the face of music forever. After 3 months passed, Elvis Presley's father and Colonel Parker reached out to her with a request to host a 2-hour tribute on NBC called Memories of Elvis. She agreed to do it, knowing it was a way to honor his legacy, but it was a very painful moment for her. Seeing Elvis remembered on television brought back many memories and feelings of loss, as Elvis had left the world much too early. She thought of how lonely Elvis must have been after the death of his beloved mother, a loss that profoundly affected him and marked his life forever. She also knew he faced struggles after his divorce, which added to his feelings of isolation during those final years. Marty Lacker, one of Elvis's closest friends and one of his best men at his wedding, once reflected that if Elvis had ended up with Ann-Margret instead of the paths he took, the story might have turned out very differently. The tribute show was a difficult experience because it reminded her of Elvis's talents, his kindness, and the tragedy of how his life ended too soon, leaving behind memories that continue to influence fans around the world. Certainly, Elvis Presley, often called the king of rock and roll, remains one of the most influential and famous musicians in history. Throughout his life, he faced many challenges, including struggles with prescription medications that affected his health and well-being. Many fans and critics have wondered if there was anyone who could have helped him avoid his tragic end. One person who often comes up in this conversation is Ann-Margret, a talented actress and singer who shared a close bond with Elvis. Some believe that if she could have been there more for him, she might have been able to help him get off the prescription drugs that contributed to his decline. It is possible she could have encouraged him to focus on his happiness and cope with the loss of loved ones that haunted him. They loved each other very much, and their relationship was filled with deep affection and understanding. Yet, others argue that their bond might have simply been a strong friendship, and perhaps their love was never meant to become anything more permanent. Despite the genuine connection they shared at the height of their relationship, they both knew deep down that it might not last forever. The question of whether Ann-Margret could have saved Elvis from himself remains unanswered. It is a thought many still ponder, as the tragic story of his rise and fall continues to capture the imagination of fans around the world. Some believe that perhaps, if circumstances had been different, or if they had a chance to truly influence each other's lives, Elvis might have found a different path. Still, his life reminds everyone of the importance of health, support, and knowing when to ask for help. His music, his impact, and the love he inspired continue to live on, shaping the memories and stories told about him today. Many people wonder if love can only be truly achieved through marriage, but Elvis Presley's story suggests otherwise. Even after his romantic relationship with her ended, his actions showed he still cared deeply for her. For example, Elvis continued to send flowers to her before many of her performances, which is a clear sign that he never stopped valuing her. This gesture indicates that their love was not simply about being together in a formal way, but about a genuine connection that stayed strong over time. Their story points to a different idea, that love can live on even after a breakup, in small, meaningful actions such as sending flowers or showing kindness. Elvis' way of expressing his feelings through these acts shows that love can exist beyond the bounds of marriage, or even a relationship that ends. It reminds us that sometimes love is about how we treat someone, and how we remember them long after the official relationship has ended. His actions prove that love can be accomplished in many ways, not just through marriage, and that genuine affection can remain in the heart for a long time. Even after they were not together, their love seemed to linger quietly, still alive in the small gestures Elvis made. These gestures can tell us a lot about love, how it can last, change, and still hold a special place in the hearts of those involved. In this way, Elvis Presley's story shows that love is not just about the beginning or the ending, but about the small moments and enduring feelings that stay with us. Certainly, she was one of the few celebrities who attended Elvis Presley's funeral in 1977, showing her deep respect and connection to him during a very difficult time. Accompanying her was her husband, and their presence at the funeral demonstrated how much they admired Elvis and valued his influence in the music world. Despite the ups and downs of their personal relationship, she always remembered Elvis in good words. Her love for him was genuine and respectful, reflecting a bond that went beyond ordinary friendship. They both loved and respected each other, regardless of whether they were romantically involved or not, which made their connection unique and meaningful. Their relationship was based on mutual admiration and appreciation for each other's artistic talents, and that enduring respect kept their bond strong over the years. This special connection is well remembered by fans and adds a personal touch to Elvis's story, showing how he touched the lives of those close to him in different ways. Her attendance at his funeral and her continual fond memories serve as a reminder of the impact Elvis Presley had on the lives of many, and especially on those who knew him best. Both her actions and her words reflected the true spirit of a heartfelt connection, making their bond stand out in the history of Elvis Presley's life and legacy.